Thank you, Justice Goldstone. We appreciate your coming to Brandeis and your willingness to share the platform with Dory Gold, an Israeli long familiar with the United Nations and experienced in speaking on behalf of his country. In agreeing to a dialogue, you provide an example of respect for open discourse that we admire and encourage on the Brandeis campus. And you also treated us to a rare display of eloquence, which we also appreciate. Justice Goldstone, we are all in your debt. I also thank Dr. Dory Gold, a renowned scholar of the contemporary Middle East and a distinguished Israeli public figure, for agreeing to join Justice Goldstone on this platform. This is the first time that an Israeli of Ambassador Gold's stature will respond directly to an author of the report. We are in his debt for agreeing to do so. Israel has steadfastly refused to engage with the fact-finding mission, even as it has constantly emphasized the high personal regard in which it holds Justice Goldstone. Nevertheless, Israel argues that the official mandate, formulated by a cluster of states with long-standing hostility to Israel, and adopted by the Human Rights Council and never rescinded by it, even if Justice Goldstone objected to it, is one-sided. Canada, Japan, and Switzerland, states of the European Union, and others voted against the resolution, and still others abstained. Individuals well known for their commitment to human rights refused to accept responsibility for the mission. On submission of the report's findings, the number of states opposing the actual report has grown. 2 days ago, the House of Representatives passed by a vote of 344 to 36 a resolution characterizing the report as, quote, biased and unworthy of further consideration, end quote. While to be sure there are many who accept the findings, condemnation of the report is neither isolated nor narrowly based. On accepting the commission, Justice Goldstone did attempt to formally expand the mandate, as he explained to us. Yet, the 575-page report reveals that the original emphasis on Israeli culpability remains. The bulk of the report is a resounding critique of Israeli behavior in Gaza and far beyond, both in place and in time. The facts the mission offers are integrated into an overall interpretation that weaves together Israeli actions into a familiar condemnation of Israeli military doctrine, its political and legal systems, and its domestic policies. The array of accusations lumps together the choice of weapons used in Gaza with internment practices, policies regarding illegal Bedouin settlements of the Negev, the exercise of free speech and the right to assemble both within and beyond Israel's pre-1967 borders, Israel's relationship to foreign NGOs and the press, and much, much more. The Goldstone report may be the most comprehensive and damning of the many United Nations-sponsored documents castigating the Jewish state. Nothing comparable in extent and depth is done to explore and explain Hamas's persistent attacks over the years on Israeli civilians by rockets and suicide bombers, its persistent public justification of acts of terror. Nor does the report similarly interrogate Palestinian society and its political culture. The anger in Israel against this report is widespread and deep. Many in the Israeli public urged on their government the use of arms in defense of Israeli lives and property long before this battle began. Popular support remains strong despite an awareness of the opprobrium this war has brought. One of Ambassador Gold's challenges is to explain why that is the case. Why so many Israelis find this report so objectionable. Given the extent and severity of the charges, it seems, Ambassador Gold, that you must address at a minimum the following: the accuracy of the facts collected and analyzed by this fact-finding mission. Are there any significant facts the report does not include? Following on your response to these questions, what alterations would you suggest to the conclusions of the report? Finally, what remedies do you offer to the tragic reality that innocent civilians on both sides of the battle lines are subject to extreme hazards and injury? Even as Justice Goldstone's time was severely circumscribed, I asked Ambassador Gold to similarly restrict his response. Both Justice Goldstone and Ambassador Gold will be able to elaborate in the question and answer period. Finally, I ask of you, the audience, to extend the same attentiveness and courtesy to Ambassador Gold that you have recorded Justice Goldstone. Ambassador Gold.